I had to pause for the thumbnail. Um, okay, hello, class is in session. Video number 2 in this little outfit. Okay, so this video is going to be called, what did I write down? It's not personal, it's not emotional, it's just business. Sometimes I cannot take myself seriously, but this is very serious. So it's not personal, it's not emotional, it's just business. That is one of my favorite lines ever that I, say in my head when it comes to making decisions in my life. And sometimes I can be very, I see the good in people, I see the good in situations, I'll see the good in outcomes. And, it could even just be like, whether or not you want to go do a plan with someone or not, or you want to go, do, your workout in the morning or the evening, like whatever it is, to have that lens of like, it's not about them, it's not about this, it's just what it is. Like some things you have to put your feelings to the side, say, hey feelings, hey heart, I love you so much, bye. And then do what you gotta do and be that authority for yourself. And like this has been one of my favorite kind of sayings, because sometimes it's like, when you just really want to see the best in a situation or the best in a person or the best in an outcome, you're like, there's, it's great, they're great, but it seems good. Like whatever it is, you have to kind of separate yourself from that a little bit to make the best decision. Like for example, last night I wanted to go get ice cream. But I had already eaten dinner and I had already kind of gotten myself a little sweet treat for the day. And so I was just like, I thought about it for a second and I was like, Shiri, you don't need to do this. You really don't need to do this. You can always go get a sweet treat tomorrow. Like, you don't need to get a sweet treat today. Like, 2 sweet treats in a row, like, we're teetering the line here. Like, you have, you need to kind of like advocate for your, self a little bit. And so I remember putting like my hair up, putting my purse on. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, then I like thought about it for a second. And I was like, no, Shiri, we're not doing 2 sweet treats in a row today. We're simply just not. It's not emotional. The reason I even wanted a sweet treat or to try the ice cream spot is because it's new and like they have like vegan or dairy-free options. It's new. I want to go try it, whatever. So that was my reason. It was like personal and emotional. And so I had to put my feelings to the side and say, no, you can literally like, you have like a fruit. Like I had to literally parent myself. I literally had to be like, we have food at home. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, if you want, you can go eat whatever the F is in this fridge right now or in your drawer. But you're not going to do 2 like outer sweet treats today. It's just simply not happening. It's just business. And that was my frame of mind. Now, this frame of thinking didn't stem from like little things like this, but I use it. I use that like that mentality on a lot. It's really helpful when making big decisions or making decisions and advocating for yourself in life. Like, sometimes like you think to yourself, oh, this seems good. Like it seems like it could work. Even like picking, like if you're, let's say in high school and you're picking university or programs, like, and you get all these offers, you don't need to choose something just because it chooses you. You don't need to align to something because it's the first thing that came to you or it's, whatever. You don't have to put yourself in a situation that isn't going to work because whatever. Or if you want to leave a situation, like it's really like kind of moving towards something or even leaving a situation or heading in a direction, right? Like think to yourself, is this a personal or emotional decision that I'm making? Are there personal or emotional factors in this decision? And if there are, let me remove myself, let me remove my personal emotional feelings from the decision, isolate the decision, and then decide from there. And doing that has really helped me in so many ways. Because like, I don't know, like I'm just a girl, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like when things need to get done or I have to, advocate for myself or do what's best for me, like I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And, I take that part of me extremely, extremely seriously. But just as like, serious and hardworking as I am, there's also that like side of me that is super fun and bubbly and spiritual and like doesn't take myself too seriously. But when I need to, this is, we take our and we hold ourselves to that standard and we do what needs to be done and we make the best decisions for ourselves when we need to, and it comes down to it. And it's important to have that side of you, whether it's like a little persona or it's whatever that part of you that makes the decisions like for yourself. It's important to have that like little like serious kind of tone to it, because if you're constantly making decisions from that like, and I used to do this a lot, making decisions from a personal emotional place, you're going to be at a detriment to your highest self. You're going to be at a detriment to yourself and to your, emotions and personal feelings. Like, for example, they say not to like, something they say like in business is not to like, or don't like work with your friends or whatever, because, or what's the saying, like don't work with your, you know what I'm trying to say, like not to do business with people you're like personally like invested in or like have a personal relationship with, because those two getting mixed up is a no-no. It's a no-no. Just like that can get mixed up and it can be great for some people, but you need to learn how to actually like have those boundaries. But I've learned to do that with myself, where it's like, and you should learn to do that with yourself too. And like I'm always ongoing learning and continuing to strengthen those pieces within myself as well, like to strengthen that decision-making process, to separate, like, is this a personal feeling? Is this an emotional feeling? Yes. Remove that. What's the decision at hand? Does this make sense for me? Yes. No. Okay. And that phrase, it's just business, like it comes from it's, as it's stated, it's just business. It really is just business. Like, not to comment or say anything about any particular businesses or places of employment or corporations or anything like that, but just in the way that like businesses will make decisions for themselves. Like businesses have people at the top to make decisions that operate and continue to keep the business running. Sometimes people at really high levels have really tough decisions to make. Like, do you think sometimes like certain, CEOs want to like fire all these people or this, that, and the third? No, but they have to make those tough calls and they have to separate themselves from things to do what needs to be done, right? And so to be that, CEO, to be that decision maker in your own life, like sometimes you gotta, and even in the tiniest ways, like the ice cream, right? Like it's not to say don't have ice cream, but like seeing my decision making process, or whether you want to go to the gym in the morning or the evening, whether you want to have, cereal for breakfast or eggs for breakfast, whether you want to go hang out with this person or that person, whether you want to spend time doing this or spend time doing that, because all of these little things, like we don't realize these little, like even me choosing right now to film versus, go on a walk or get a coffee right at this moment, or do like a chore in my house or whatever, like every little decision has an impact, and you don't realize how decisions can compound and lead to, different outcomes, especially if little decisions, like you want the little decisions you make and the decisions you do often to be reflective of the person that you are and the person that you want to become and the person that you are becoming or evolving or whatever. You want that to be always at the direction of your highest self. And so to make decisions like you're your own business will serve you plenty in the long run. and you will become your own, people like to talk about, you got to invest in assets and here, if you watch my video outside, if you watch one of my most recent videos, you'll see what I mean by placing value on things outside of yourself. And don't get me wrong, like, invest in assets if you can, when you can, where you can, whatever assets those are. This is not a financial video, but one of the biggest assets you will ever invest in your whole entire life, probably the biggest asset, is you. And because anything outside of you can be like you don't have control over things outside of you, right? Like, let's say you own a piece of art, and this piece of art is an investment. You paid, there's like a banana for like $3 million or whatever, like, right? Like, let's say you own that $3 million art banana, money laundering. No, I'm just kidding, but like whatever it is, and then that banana breaks. It's not worth $3 million anymore. I don't even think it's worth anything. Like, what is that? It's just a piece of material that's broken now, right? So a lot of people underestimate themselves as an asset. Your mind, your body, your spirit, the ability to gain knowledge, learn, read. People really underestimate pouring into themselves. Like, even the books you read, the people you have around, where you choose to spend your time, how you choose to spend your time. And not everything are things we can't control. Like, if you're, younger and you live with your family or this and that, and you can't control like where you live, like, that's not in your control. But you can control the decisions you make if you want to eventually leave somewhere and move out, and where you want to live, how you want to live. You can eventually start making little decisions to get to that goal and piece things together to reach that goal, right? But that all starts with investing in yourself. And so treating yourself like you're your own CEO in business, like, I'm sure there are tons of self-development people that are not me who say the same thing and go into depth and probably put a little more effort in some of their videos and give you all the like neuroscience behind certain things and whatever, fear-mongering. But I'm just going to tell it to you straight. Just adopt this mindset. Every little thing you do or any kind of decision you're contemplating, it's not personal, it's not emotional, it's just business. Let's say your friend wants you to come to the mall with them, but you want to study for your test. And you're like, oh, I want to go to the mall, like, blah, 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 I can study after this, that, and the third, but like, I know I should be studying. It's like, get your, big girl pants on and just be like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't. Because tell yourself it's not personal, it's not emotional, it's just business. There were times in my life where like I've had to work, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. I've missed a ton of like great, social events and parties and this and that and the third because I was working, because I had goals and other things I was doing. Nothing wrong with people who went out, but I had different priorities, right? And so it's not personal. And so I had to separate myself and be like, it's not personal, it's not emotional, it's just business. It's just business. And so, that mindset will get you so far, and it will get you, okay, I don't want to make any of these promises, right? But like, it'll progress you. Trust me, it'll progress you, and you'll notice yourself making better decisions with that mindset. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I really hope this helped at least one person in their life. I hope this resonated. I hope that, if you agree or think what I'm saying is like, relevant, like, or you took something from this, let me know in the comments below. I will be responding. Like, share, subscribe. You mean the absolute world to me. I love you so, so much. And you could do anything in this life. Bye.